Hi, welcome back to my channel where we break down complex NetSuite concepts into simple and fun to understand steps. We are doing a couple of videos highlighting NetSuite BI capabilities, and in this video we are going to look at SuiteAnalytics Workbook. So workbooks take reporting to the next level. They offer a more interactive and analytical approach to data exploration. Let's get started. Let's start with an overview of the BI tools that we have on NetSuite. So we have Save Searches, Reports, SuiteAnalytics Workbook. This is what we'll be covering today, and dashboards. So to create a workbook, there are two main steps. First, we need to create a dataset and then use this dataset to create a workbook. Now, the dataset, think of it as a smart collection of data in NetSuite. You can pull together information from various sources like your sales, your inventory, or customers and organize it. It's like creating a custom table of data to analyze. So once you're done with your dataset, you can use it to create your workbook. Now the workbook allows you to explore that data. With the workbook, you can create reports, charts, and pivot tables to visualize and understand the information in your dataset. It's interactive, so you can filter and drill into the data to get insights. And now we're going to look at a very easy example on how to create a dataset and a workbook on NetSuite. So to create a workbook, first, as we mentioned, we have to create a dataset and then proceed with the workbook. So to create a dataset, we are going to click on the Analytics subtab at the top. And here you can see we have two options, workbook and dataset. We will proceed with dataset, so we're going to click on new dataset. Now, for this example, we're going to create a dataset on our open sales orders, and then we're going to create a workbook to analyze those data a bit further. So in my record type, I'm going to choose transaction, just like we will do with a save search. So in our dataset screen, we have different sections. So here, this spot on the left hand side, this is where we are going to source the fields we would like to see in our dataset. Here in the top right corner of the page, this is where we can set some criteria, and this is where we will see our actual result in real time. So we're going to add a simple criteria type. So right now this dataset is going to pull all transactions within NetSuite, but I want to limit that. I want to extract only my sales order data. So that's why I'm going to add type as a criteria here, and I'm going to tell NetSuite to bring me only my sales order transaction. So by default we'll already have some fields available here, but we can remove fields that we don't need, like memo, no need, transaction, no need, type, no need. Yes, total amount. Let's add the sales rep as well. Here we go. So this is a very simple sales order data. We have the sales order number, the date, the customer, and the sales rep that is attached to it, and the amount of the sales order. So once we are done with our data set, we can go ahead and save it. Now this is a very simple data set, but we can also add some formula field. We can join with other records in NetSuite to create more complex data set. Once we are done with step one, that is creating our data set, we can proceed with the workbook. So to create a workbook from this screen directly, we can click on create new workbook, and we have three options to visualize the data. So whether we want it to be in tabular format, pivot, or chart. So let's do a chart. Let's say I want to view the sales on my sales rep, so I will drag and drop the sales rep field in my x-axis, and I'm going to add the amount as my measure. So once we are done, we have to click on the refresh button at the top, And now NetSuite is going to show me all my sales rep and the amount that they have sold. Again, this is for all the transactions that I have on NetSuite, but if I want, I can limit that size. So for example, here I have my date field. I can click on the three dot icon, filter date, and I can add some advanced date filter. So let's say I want to see the sales for from June till now. I can do that. I can also specify a date range or give some specific values as well. So once I'm done, we have the refresh dataset. So this is a very simple example where we can leverage workbook. Now let's take it a step further. From this workbook, we can access our dataset. So here in dataset, we can click here, click on open dataset, and let's add more fields to our dataset. So let's say I want to add the class. So I will add class. I can drag and drop the fields however I want. And let's say we want to add the item as well. Why not? Next, we want to add some the amount. So where is my amount? Here we go. Once done, we are going to click on save and apply to workbook. So next step, let's create a pivot table. So from my workbook, I can have different, I would say, sheets. So for example, I can just click on plus and then I can create another pivot, another chart, another table. So let's say I do my pivot table. In my rows, I want to add the class and I want to measure by my total amount. So if I just do that and click on refresh, I will have all the clauses that I have set up in my NetSuite account and the sales amount. If we want to make it more fancy, so let's say we want to add the item, we can create grouping. So I will have my clause, and within my clause I will have my items attached to that clause. So now if I click on refresh, NetSuite will split it. So I will have my clause, let's say industrial electronics, and all my items that fall under that and the sales amount. So I can collapse and expand as needed as well. And if ever I want, I can also add some summation. So if I want to add a summation throughout the rows or the columns, I can do that. Next, let's say I want to split it by my sales rep. So I will drag and drop the sales rep column field onto the column field here. And then again, click on refresh. So now I have my item sales split by sales rep. So you will see the clause, the items, and the different sales rep that has been attached to each transaction. So once I have done that, I can export it to CSV, for example, by clicking this button, and then I can continue with the analysis of this data. Now again, this was a very simple example, but through workbook we are taking NetSuite reporting really to the next level, and in the next videos we're going to see some more cool features that we can do with it. For now, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.